Hey everybody, Chris Bond21 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts 2. On the last episode, we can't talk already. We ended up here in Proof of Existence to fight off the final members of Organization 13. So we took care of Luxord in a weird sort of time-based boss fight where we turned into a dice and some cards, and I generally had a fun time with that fight. And then we got to kick Syax's ass on the second fight, which allowed us to open up the magical gate lock. So before we go any further, we are trying to catch up to Mickey and Ansem the Wise, who've gone up ahead to try and stop Xemnas' plans for Kingdom Hearts. They've got a little machine that looks like it's got the universe attached to the bottom of it, if you remember what it looked like, and they've just shot it up at the Kingdom Hearts replica up in the sky, and it seems to be encoding it as data or something. So I believe that on the next staircase we are going to see what exactly is going to become of that experiment, and after that it's just sort of a straight shot to the final boss. So we are going to continue, we're going to do one more boss fight, and then we're going to call it quits, and we're going to go do some other things in the next few episodes for about like post-game, sort of post-game content before we tackle the final boss. So we've got sort of a, I'd say a pre-final boss and then the actual final boss. Kind of hard to compare it to something from maybe the best way to describe it would be the Marluxia fight from Recon, where you fought him once, then you got a bit of a break, and then you got to do his final two forms. Let's compare it to that. So let's go on a little bit further and see if we can catch up to Mickey and Ansem.
Ansem?
I'm a fool. I spent years studying the workings of the heart. Yet it seems I still haven't learned a thing.
What do you mean?
The process of encoding hearts is incalculable. The inhabitants of my twilight town were data created from real hearts. I was convinced that they would think and behave the way I had envisioned, but I couldn't have been more wrong. A heart is so much more than any system. I saw it when Roxas and Kairi crossed paths. I knew, but I was too stubborn to accept it. It's always the same. I try to wrap my mind around things my heart already knows, only to fail. While I was trying to bring Sora back, I had so many plans in store. But once Sora was an acting force, they fell apart. All my research amounted to nothing compared with that one boy's heart.
Ansem, I'm ashamed.
All the more proof that hearts cannot be contained by data. Run, my friend. It's going to self-destruct, and anything could happen.
But, Your Majesty!
Sora, the rest is up to you. And Roxas, I doubt you can hear me, but I am sorry.
Ansem!
My heart is telling me what I must do. Please allow me to do what it says.
No! Riku!
His heart's decided. We can't change that.
I was wondering who would dare interfere with my Kingdom Hearts. And look, here you all are. How convenient for me. Ansem the Wise. You look pathetic.
Have your laugh. I deserve as much for failing to see you for the fool you are.
Students do take after their teachers. Only a fool would be your apprentice. After all, none of this would have happened without you. You are the source of all Heartless. It was your research that inspired me to go further than you ever dared.
I admit, my disregard brought chaos to more worlds than one. But what were you seeking? You erased me from the world, only to take my name and continue research better left forgotten. Is this the answer you've been looking for?
All that and more. I'm carrying on what you yourself began. and I'm creating a brand new world, one heart at a time. I thought you'd praise me, but all you ever do is hold me back. I understand, though. Unlike me, you have a heart, and you're powerless to control it. Consumed by the jealousy you feel toward the student who surpassed you.
Xehanort, foolish apprentice of a foolish man. You have surpassed nothing, only proved how little we both know. We may profess to know the heart, but its essence is beyond our reach. We're both ignorant, as oblivious as when we began. I'm afraid that any world you try to create, any world of yours, would be an empire of ignorance. That is why you and your creation are destined to fall. We've said enough. Rico, you know what to do. King Mickey, my friend, forgive me. Farewell.
Riku! Riku!
Wow!
Riku!
Ansem did say anything could happen.
Riku, you gonna take that off? Oh. What was that?
His eyes couldn't lie.
Lie? And just who were you trying to fool? Huh? Huh? Myself. Riku, come on, man. Why did you try to do so much on your own? You've got friends, like us. Have you forgotten? I'll tell you why. 'Cause I'm not a total sap like you. Say that again! What should we do, Riku? We must defeat Xemnas. He's the organization's last survivor. Right. Come on.
Now I want to check something. We got another Ansem report. I think we might have gotten. So we also got Riku in the party now, rocking his new outfit. I don't know where he picked up that outfit, but I wanted to show you something real quick when we get into the next cutscene. He should be walking. Yeah, he should be next to us, and hopefully nothing will trigger. More proof that Tetsuya Nomura loves to design himself some outfits with zippers. Let's take a look at this. So you've got Riku's jacket that has the regular one zipper. Okay, but then he has an undershirt with 2 zippers, and it's like, why? Like, do you need the zipper at the top? Do you need the zipper at the bottom? Is it so that, like, if your midsection gets a little cold, you can close that bit, but if your neck gets a little, like, warm, you can open up that bit? Dude loves zippers. Like, I don't think Kairi's around right now, but if she was, I would look at that outfit, too, because more zippers, and Mickey's rocking zippers. Take a shot every time a character has more than one zipper, or when you... No, better one. Take a shot every time you see a character with a zipper that has no definable purpose for why it should be there other than it looks really cool. Seriously, loads of zippers. Just zippers, man. Anyway, we're going to go to the journal real fast, because I think we may have gotten all of the Ansem reports, maybe? No, we're missing... I believe we're missing 1, which I think we might get at the end of the episode. So maybe I'll read these at the end of this episode, so we don't get lost with that later on. So yeah, Riku's in the party now, and he has a cool limit break that I'll show off. You know, let's show it now. He also has a couple of reaction commands that you can trigger. I think you can do Dark Shield, right there where he protects you from things. He can also use Dark Aura, which allows him to shoot out those little blue energy blasts we saw him do in one of the cutscenes before. Yeah, so I'm just going to take out this dancer. I'm kind of no MP right now, so I can't actually do this. But I'm going to try to do it once I get my MP back. Come on, give me the damn... Yeah, there's Dark Aura. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, so he's back. Let's see if I can do it. So, it's Session. So Session allows you to do this sick-ass move where you team up with Riku. You get these little hits here with the thing. Then you get, like, it gets crazy. 13 blades. Look at this stuff. Swinging around, going nuts. And then eventually the ending move is both keyblades get thrown up in the air and we suck everything into a vortex and blow everything up. It's one of the coolest limit breaks imaginable. Unfortunately, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, does this mean we can leave this world with Riku? Unfortunately, no. Riku is just a party member here in the world that never was. You can't leave with him, and he can't join your party permanently in the other worlds. Kinda sucks. Kinda wish that was a thing. I wish they'd done, because I feel like that would have been kind of cool to take Riku out. I mean, he's not native to this world now, is he? But yet you can't leave with him. Kinda sucks, but we can't always have nice things. So yeah, Ansem's dead. In case you were wondering, I know I kind of skipped past it at the end of the last cutscene, but yeah, he's gone. So much for finally getting to meet him and see what he looks like and everything. But yeah, he's gone for now. But we are going to discuss the Ansem report because there's some interesting things to talk about in that. But the next room is just going to be more cutscenes. I'm just going to skip this and head into the next room. Oh, cutscenes are at the end here. I'm sorry. Guess we got a few more little things to fight, so I'll just take care of these guys real fast. Doing pretty good. Level-wise, I think we are at the correct level. I'm still baffled as to why I was struggling during the Roxas fight, because I'm usually a lower level than this, and I still managed to do pretty good at this point. And we managed to get through both the Luxord fight, and I'm getting killed by the Tetris blocks here. Let me see if I can kill this guy up. Yep, we got him. Okay. I don't really know why Roxas was giving me such a hard time in that fight. Maybe because it's new and I'm just not used to it, but we got through all the other boss fights ridiculously easy, so I have no idea what really caused the problem. I love using Warp Snipe when you can hit another enemy. It's always a cool move. Yeah, there's going to be a cutscene at the end of the run here, but until then, we can do what we need to do. Riku using Dark Shield. It sometimes works nicely. The bad thing is you can't really use that limit break against too many things because there's really only one boss left. It's just Xemnas and then it's the final boss, so not a whole lot of opportunities to be using it. We'll head over here. There's another chest to get another Warp Snipe guy. This usually works when there's like 3 of them. You can usually jump around between 4 things. And it takes about half their health out, so I like that you can kill these guys rather fast. Again, there's a lot of nobodies that now start popping around over here now that we've gotten to the game's end. I think after the next cutscene, it'll trigger everything officially to where all the Heartless and Nobodies that spawn out will be the standard ones. They won't change ever again. It'll always be the same group of ones. Hopefully we don't die. I don't think there's anything to fight. We're just going to have to fight through this room, and then we go to get the cutscene, and then we're going to tackle the final, well, the pre-final boss, I guess we should say, or I should say the battle against Xemnas. He is waiting for us at the top of the tower. We are almost there. So again, I like the world that never was a lot more than the end of the world, because the end of the world is kind of like weird and trippy, and it's not a very story-driven world. I think even when I think we account for cutscenes, there's only like one cutscene against the Cinema Bob, or I can't pronounce the thing's name, but yeah, he's the only thing we really deal with story-wise. Here, at least, it's still got some stuff. And I do like that in Final Mix, they did try to actively put more emphasis on the other organization members, like Luxord and Syax, because if you play the original Kingdom Hearts 2, they're so underused, it just feels like they kind of forgot about them. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, it was just because there's obviously so much going on. But yeah, we're going to head over here. I'm going to quickly grab this chest before the cutscene gets triggered, and I believe once we head to the door, it should happen. Yeah, here we go.
There's gonna be no end to this.
Together we can stop them.
Be gone from here. Leave these creatures to us.
But there's no way we could take them all.
I will be sending them after Xemnas. Or perhaps you would rather fight them yourself.
Frankly, my dear, I'd rather run.
Off with you then.
Well, if it ain't the Boat Boy King.
Time to weigh anchor, Captain Pete.
What, like abandoned ship? I don't think so.
Sora, your majesty, do not forget, when I've destroyed them all, this castle shall be mine!
Now looky here. Opportunities like this don't come along every day, you know. Bring 'em on!
We gotta hurry.
But
They're doing what their hearts command. We can't interfere.
Okay, so that's the last we see of Maleficent and Pete in this game. So as to whether they survive their little kamikaze mission against the Heartless, I'll leave that up in the air as to whether they survive or they die. However, I haven't mentioned this whole series, although you probably could have told because I was being very sarcastic about it. But yeah, probably the stupidest thing the entire series has ever done, and there's not many things that have been really stupid, maybe 2-3 things that are really, really stupid in the series. But yeah, they brought Maleficent back, made a big stink about it, she constantly bitches and moans how she's gonna have her revenge, and you don't fight her at all in the entire game. They don't even fix this in Final Mix. There's not even a bonus fight where you can fight against her. Nope. She comes in and goes as she pleases. She keeps saying that, oh, a final battle will be coming and her revenge will be soon. And you might think that, oh, maybe it's like a bonus boss fight or a secret boss fight in the end, or it's something later in Hollow Bastion, or a bonus fight after you beat the game. Nope, that's it. She goes and fights off the Heartless with Pete. We never see her again for the rest of the game. That's how it ends. And I still think it's the dumbest conclusion. Like, what was the point of bringing her back other than someone obviously just really wanted to, and maybe they just didn't think Pete was good enough on his own, but I would have rathered just Pete, honestly. Just him alone would have been fine. They did not need to bring Maleficent back, and honestly, her role in this game was nothing, really. I mean, she caused a little bit of problems in Disney Castle, but we should have fought her as a boss at Disney Castle. I feel like that's where that should have been. Maybe she was planned. I've never heard of anything to the contrary about her actually being a fight in Kingdom Hearts 2, so I doubt this was ever planned. This isn't cut content. This isn't something they couldn't do, but yeah, I hate the fact that we don't get to fight Maleficent. I think it is one of the stupidest things in Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's a big waste of time. So yeah, this is it. Xemnas is waiting for us.
Oh, my Kingdom Hearts. Ruined. No. I'll have to start all over again. Warriors of the Keyblade, go forth and bring me more hearts.
No!
Denizens of light, answer this. Why do you hate the darkness?
Huh, we don't hate it. It's just kinda scary. But the world's made of light and darkness. You can't have one without the other, because darkness is half of everything. sort of makes you wonder why we are scared of the dark.
It's because of who's lurking inside it.
Then allow me another question. You accept darkness, yet choose to live in the light. So why is it that you loathe us who teeter on the edge of nothing? We who were turned away by both light and dark, never given a choice.
That's simple. It's because you mess up our world.
That may be. However, what other choice might we have had?
Just give it a rest. You're nobodies. You don't even exist. You're not sad about anything.
Very good. You don't miss a thing. I cannot feel sorrow. No matter what misery befalls the worlds, no matter what you think, what you feel, or how you exist.
Guys!
Yeah, so this pre-fight before the final boss is a one-on-one against Xemnas. It's not too difficult, from what I remember. He does a lot of the same moves he did in Final Mix, so if you remember that fight, it's a little easy. However, he does this thing where he'll slowly weed off your health. Weed off? Whittle, maybe. That's a... Weed off doesn't sound right. Weed off. Forget what I just said. Whittle! I should die now just for making that stupid mistake. Yeah, so you gotta come over here to the building and engage in a little bit of a quick time event. And it's very careful. You want to pay very close attention to the reaction commands that pop up because one of them actually does the most damage. It's not Clash, it's Breakthrough. That will make Sora go around him and smack him down into the ground, and I believe this will stun him. Yeah, and you can take a couple of free hits off of him. If you do Clash, I think that's just gonna, like, barricade you off of him, like you'll ricochet off of his blades. So you don't want to do that. He isn't too strong, and I highly recommend using, I'm on the wrong thing, but Limit Form is great for this, and this is what makes the game a little bit easier, because we do have Limit Form here, whereas in the original Kingdom Hearts 2, you didn't have this, so you had to beat him either just with Trinity Limit through Limit Break, or just your regular skills. But you can use the Limit Form here, which does a lot more damage, obviously, and there's better movesets here than Sora's original moveset that we have for the regular outfit that we wear. So yeah, if we can actually get him into a couple of good moves, look at that, we just took a huge chunk of his health off. And he can guard already, so that was pretty good. I'm doing a good job of guarding. Wow, I did a really good job of guarding against him. Yeah, he's sort of a little slower than he was in Final Mix. Again, that fight was supposed to be like Omega challenging, but now it's kind of like, he's a little easier now. You can kind of have your fun with him. So yeah, he's not too bad. I'm actually doing pretty good right now. He is sort of getting a bit of a... he is sort of killing me down a little bit, but my health will respawn momentarily. And yeah, the great thing about this is that your drive gauge has like a lot to bring back. I think I can't heal while I'm in this. Yeah, be careful because you can't heal when he locks you in this thing. So we're going to try this again. Again, just wait it out. Don't go too fast. Take your time. It'll go slow enough, so you should be able to time it correctly. So once Sora gets into this animation where Xemnas jumps off, just wait for it. It'll say Clash, then Breakthrough, and then real quick, just press triangle. And then you should hit him. I don't think you take damage. Or I don't think he takes damage. And this is it. He's already dead. And this should do it. Probably. You know, I'm gonna be a cheater. I'm gonna just hit him with lightning. Oh, come on! Yeah, there we go. I love that you can use Thunder to automatically end the fights. If I remembered that, I would have been doing that tons of fights ago. So yeah, that will do it for the first fight against Xemnas.
Sora! Where are you?
Sora! Answer me!
You're okay!
Where's Xemnas?
Hear me, Kingdom Hearts. It seems we must begin anew. But know this. I will give to you as many hearts as it takes. Mark my words. You can no more be complete without me than I without you. Heed me, Kingdom Hearts. Lend me your power so that we may be complete. The power to erase the fools that hinder us.
Xemnas, no!
Hearts quivering with hatred.
Xemnas, don't!
Hearts burning with rage.
You'll never win!
Hearts scarred by envy. That fool Ansem said the heart's true nature was beyond his understanding. But it's not beyond mine. Hearts are the source of all power.
Xemnas, you can't hide from us!
We're not gonna let him get away now!
Look at that!
What's going on?
Kingdom Hearts.
Let's go. Xemnas must be inside.
The worlds gave us this doorway. They want us to be the guardians of their destiny.
Once we go through, there's no turning back. It's victory or oblivion. So, Sora, are you ready?
So yeah, that is the last answer report. So we're going to read them now, because that's it. If you go up this little visionary little bridge here and talk to the door, which is supposed to be the door from the first game. If you talk to Riku, he mentions that, I think. Do you remember before? We stood facing each other on opposite sides of that door. Now we stand side by side. Let's go home together this time. Yeah, kind of the same door without all of the bonus. It's like the door from the first game on steroids. But yeah, we're done. So we're going to read the Ansem report before we end off this episode, because we're about shy of 30 minutes. So let's back it up. Not that we backed up too far, but we'll go real quick. I want to check the character links because we are at the end. I think we have to go. I still think we have to go back to, because there's a bunch. I think we have to beat. I know what we need to do, but we'll do it on another file. I don't believe it's still not here because their original names are listed. Regardless, let's go to the answer reports because they are done, and we're going to read them all. Now remember, we read the original Ansem reports in the first Kingdom Hearts, but these secret Ansem reports were written by Ansem the Wise. Only the first Ansem report that I read to you good people in the last game, that was written by the real Ansem. The rest were duplicated and written by Xehanort's Heartless. Not really the real Ansem, the fake Ansem from the first game. However, don't try to, I'm fair warning right now, with these Ansem reports we'll explain, try not to line it up with the continuity and the timeline of the original Ansem reports, because let's just say that there are more holes in the plot involving who, what, where, and when than a slice of Swiss cheese. So I really wouldn't try to think too much about it. Just remember that they probably hadn't planned this all out that far in advance. So things like the apprentices and Xehanort not working alone and all that other good stuff probably wasn't really in their best interest at the time. So let's start with number 1, which I believe should be the intro one. My efforts these many years have come to fruition, with the world I govern having become a paradise worthy of being called the Radiant Garden. Nurtured by the pure water that is the source of life, fragrant flowers bloom in abundance, and the people face each day with hopeful smiles. But where there is light, darkness also lurks. I noted in my earlier reports I must solve the mystery of the darkness of the heart. This paradise depends on it. I shall perform an experiment to probe the depths of a person's heart. One of my own apprentices, Xehanort, has volunteered to be a subject. The young man has served me ever since I nursed him back from death's door some years ago. He had lost all memories at the time, but later showed remarkable intellect, curiosity, and readily absorbed my teachings, gaining deep wisdom. Any mental immaturity is surely due to his young age. If I explore Xehanort's heart with physiological tests, I may be able to recall the past locked away within. My apprentice Evan has also shown great interest in Xehanort's memories. But is he really the right subject? Xehanort does exhibit extraordinary talents. So yeah, Ansem is talking about an apprentice named Evan, and if you remember, I told you that all the organization members are their original names with X's attached to them. So, 2 guesses I'll give you who Evan is if you put an X in it. So yeah, it's Vexen. Vexen is Evan. At least Evan was the original version, and then Vexen is the nobody. So Vexen was one of Ansem's original apprentices. In fact, I'll spoil it right now for you guys. The first 6 members of the organization, Zigbar, Zaldin, Lexius, Vexen, Zexion, and I think... I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Go fast, let me do it in my head. Lexius, Zexion, Vexen, Zigbar, Zaldin. They're the 5, and I feel like there's one more. Oh, might be Xemnas that might be counting as the 6th. Okay, so that's probably it. Too extraordinary. Perhaps they're even superhuman. Okay, let's see number 2. I have made a grave mistake. My study of the darkness of the heart began with a simple psychological test. It quickly snowballed. Spurred on by my youngest apprentice, Ienzo, I constructed a massive laboratory in the basement of my castle. Unbeknownst to me, my 6 apprentices then began collecting a large number of subjects on which to perform dangerous experiments into the darkness of the heart. As soon as I found out, I called my apprentices together and ordered them not only to cease their studies, but to destroy the results of their research thus far. What on earth is happening within the hearts of my 6 beloved apprentices? While pursuing the mystery of darkness of the heart, could they have strayed into its depths? Yet I remain the most foolish of all for having begun these experiments. We are not meant to interfere in the depths of another heart, no matter what our reasons for doing so. And my error plunged me into despair. A visitor from another world soothed my dejected soul. A tiny king named Mickey came wielding a legendary key, the infamous Keyblade, said to bring both chaos and prosperity to the world. He was very knowledgeable on many topics, and we deepened our friendship as we conversed companionably. Upon his advice, I decided to review data obtained at my basement lab. This is where I discovered the Ansem reports. Though they bore my name, the only one I had written was number 0. Apparently, he had gone to pen numbers 1 through 8 himself. Yes, the first subject in my foolish experiments. Yes, so this is where Ansem has realized that Xehanort has gone a little crazy and is taking on the name Ansem, I guess, for reasons that I'm not entirely sure. Also, backing it up a little bit, Ienzo! Ienzo is... Back it up, 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 back it up. Yeah, back it up. Did I pass it? Yeah, Ienzo is Zexion. Ienzo is actually, as he says, the youngest apprentice. He's a child back when this happens. He's like, I don't know the exact age, but he's like 11 or something. And apparently age does not, well, you don't stop aging when you're a nobody. Apparently you still do, because then he's an adult in Recom, so kind of weird. Chaos affects not only this world, but many other worlds beside it. In the Ansem reports my apprentice Xehanort had written under my name, I found the records of his hideous experiments along with my hypothesis about the door that had appeared out of the darkness in my basement. That sounds more creepier than it should be. All living things have hearts, and all hearts hold darkness deep within. Worlds are no exception. If a world is a being, then the heart it holds must be colossal, and the darkness at its core must be monstrous indeed. Did Xehanort pass through that door in an attempt to contact the Dark Realm? No, not only Xehanort. It appears my 5 other apprentices, believing it was for the sake of research, stared deep into the darkness and were pulled into it. Evan, Ienzo, Braig, Dylan, and Elias. They have ceased to be human. I, too, have had everything taken away from me, banished to a hollow realm of nothingness. What is Xehanort hoping to gain with my pilfered existence? Will my people cease to smile? If the light of hope has been extinguished, I shall henceforth walk with the darkness as my friend. Here in the realm of nothing to which I have been neglected. Here in the realm of nothingness to which I have been neglected. Darkness in the midst of nothing. Darkness in zero. Thus I shall be known as Diz. So yeah, that's where Diz comes from. It isn't just a funny little name. It isn't just a reference to Disney. But yes, Darkness in Zero is what it stands for, which is why the Z is capitalized. You may not have seen that. And we'll back it up a little bit to this sentence. Evan, Ienzo, Braig, Dylan, and Elatia. So real fast, it's not that hard to figure it out. Evan is Vexen. Ienzo, as we just figured out, is Zexion. Braig is Zigbar. Dylan is Zaldin. And Alexius is Lexius, which seems like he kind of got the most similar sounding name. So yeah, those 5 guys screwed Ansem over, teamed up with Xehanort, and basically went a little crazy, studied the darkness, lost their souls, became nobodies, and then kicked Ansem out of the Radiant Garden and banished him into the darkness. And basically they kicked him into the Dark Realm. Unfortunately, we have yet to see any of this. The series has never shown this outright. I don't know if Kingdom Hearts 3 will be the game to finally do it. I wish they would, because reading all this stuff is fun, but I do feel like actually seeing it would be kind of helpful just to get it all out there in context. So maybe one day, but we do see pieces of it in a later game. But not much. Also, I skipped the bottom. Discarding the stolen named Ansem and going in search of revenge. Alright, number 4. The distant days spent in that beautiful paradise are an illusion to me now. How long have I been here, banished to the realm of nothingness? It is only by relying upon my anger and hatred that I have been able to retain my sense of self here, where all existence is nullified. My heart has been overcome with hatred towards my apprentices, possessed by the darkness with the anger I feel for stupidly allowing myself to be betrayed. Is this darkness eating away at my heart? I cannot continue to idle away my time here. What are Xehanort and the others attempting to do? I must unravel the mystery of these Ansem reports, intercept my apprentices, and defeat them. That is my mission, my only way to repay the world for my sins. Those beings who lack hearts, the heartless, they must be the key. The darkness of the heart made flesh, cursed shadows who not only lack hearts, but multiplying by seizing hearts from any and all living things. Where have they come from, and where are they going? 3 elements combine to create life, a heart, a soul, and a body. But what of the soul and body left behind when the heart is lost? When the soul leaves the body, its vessel life gives way to death. But what about the heart leaves? But what about when the heart leaves? A being does not perish when its heart leaves its body. The heart alone disappears into the darkness. There is little time. If I remain in this realm much longer, I will certainly learn these answers the hard way. My heart is already a captive of the darkness. So Ansem wasn't having a fun time in the realm of darkness. In this realm where all existence has been disintegrated, I have just barely managed to preserve my sense of self by continuing to think and write. I wonder how he got a pen over there. It is a place where even time has lost all meaning. Eternity is but a moment here. I must make haste. Certainly their plans are already underway. The Heartless must be the key to unraveling this mystery. The 6 traitors were operating a laboratory that churned out those cursed shadows. Not only did they generate pure-blood Heartless from living hearts, but they used those Heartless to synthesize artificial versions of the creatures as well. These synthesis Heartless bore insignia and were called emblems. Pure-blood or emblem, these Heartless act only to fulfill their instinctive needs. They single-mindedly detect hearts and swarm around them. A human's command would be ineffective. The Heartless would easily steal a human's heart and use it to increase their own ranks. But what if an even stronger Heartless was giving the orders? If he cast aside his own soul and body and became a Heartless, he wouldn't be able to control the otherwise interactable Heartless. Furthermore, wouldn't he be planning to make use of the creature's instincts? If the heart-seeking Heartless have their sights set on a larger, more powerful heart, their ultimate goal is crystal clear. The largest heart in existence, the heart of the world. This is all conjuncture, but it would seem that he is utilizing the Heartless in his search for a path leading to the heart of the world. Yeah, so pay attention to what Ansem said there about there being a sort of time dilation thing in the realm of darkness. Yeah, time doesn't exist there at all, so you can spend hundreds of years there and time outside of it would never move. Let's do 6. My choice to befriend the darkness here in the midst of nothing was a sound one. The moment I stared straight ahead with a calm heart, neither rejecting darkness nor fearing it, I gained a newfound power, a superhuman power, the power of darkness. It is likely Xehanort and the others were raptured by this power, eventually becoming its prisoners. I do not intend to allow my heart to be devoured of the darkness as they did, of course. With this new power, I uncovered a corridor of darkness that connects the realm of nothingness to the outside world. While it is still difficult to come and go as I please, my banishment is now a thing of the past. I deceived Xehanort and my apprentices. I first used my power to change form before returning to the realm of light. As I suspected, Xehanort had become a Heartless. Under my name, he commanded other Heartless in a quest to snatch away the hearts of many different worlds. At the center of hearts, Xehanort had stolen was Kingdom Hearts, which attracts tremendous darkness to itself and attempts to send any and all matter back to its depths. The other 5 have disappeared. Have they become Heartless like Xehanort? Or did they vanish after Xehanort exploited them? I became familiar with an unusual entity while pursuing the truth. It is the soul and body that remain while being loses its heart. When a Heartless is born, these entities disappear from the realm of light to be reborn as entirely new beings in a completely different realm. So yeah, he witnessed the birth of the nobodies. Alright, they're halfway there. While beings, this is going on a little long now that I see it, while being born of darkness and those lacking hearts may find them convenient, it is dangerous for others to make as much use of the corridors of darkness. Darkness erodes the heart. In search of a place to proceed with my research and planning away from prying eyes, I found myself in Twilight Town. It is a quiet village, forgotten in the chasm between light and darkness. I situated myself in the basement of an abandoned mansion, standing beyond the woods. My underground research resulted in one new discovery after another. When a Heartless is born, the body and soul left behind are reborn into this world as a different being. They possess different intentions than their Heartless brethren, and while it is unclear what these sentient things are, it would appear that they are responsible for much bedlam in the world. My erstwhile friend the king and his subjects, along with a hero wielding the Keyblade, are battling the Heartless even as a new threat approaches. This new threat, they have given themselves a fitting name, I suppose. These non-beings, nobodies. A greater number of nobodies have lost human form as have the Heartless. Yet the nobody born of someone with a strong heart maintains its shape, but with the faintest visible changes. It appears my betrayers have retained their human forms as nobodies and are gathering more followers in hopes of furthering a new scheme. Organization 13, formed of 13 nobodies with my betrayers at its core, has divided into two. They are said to be carrying out some sort of research. Seeking to uncover the plans of this organization, I have decided to head for where the 6 of its members have gathered, towering over the outer limits of the realm between darkness and light, Castle Oblivion. So this is where Diz decided to go track the first 6 members, or at least 6 of the members that went to Castle Oblivion at the beginning of Recom. It appears that I have been too distracted by the behaviors of Xehanort and his cohorts by the events occurring in their vicinity. My friend's struggle to protect the realm of light from the threat of the Heartless is now over, with Xehanort's Heartless going by the name Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, defeated at last. The other wielder of the Keyblade, this hero, traveled from world to world, sealing up keyholes and laying Heartless low. Meanwhile, the king, who dived into the realm of darkness, worked with the Keyblade-wielding hero to close the door to Kingdom Hearts from the realms of both light and dark, thus holding off the threat of tremendous darkness. But there is still a great number of Heartless afoot, and Organization 13 and the Nobodies continue to be active in the shadows. Indeed, the world is still a very dangerous place. We must find a way to do battle with these enemies. Thus I will make both amends and have my revenge. It is for this reason that I infiltrated Castle Oblivion. It consists of 13 floors above and 12 floors below, with the contents of its white rooms transforming in response to its visitors' memories. Organization 13 was conducting experiments on memory here. The subjects in these experiments, a girl named Namine, appears to possess an extremely unusual abilities. Where are they attempting to derive something from these powers? Refusing to be distracted by Organization 13, I had returned to my own secret research when a new visitor appeared at the castle today. It was Sora, the Keyblade-wielding hero who had defeated Ansem and his companions. Deep underground, the stench of darkness arose. All the players are coming together, it would seem. And so that's probably where he sensed that Riku showed up. I should have expected nothing less from a Keyblade-wielding hero. Sora and friends defied the machinations of Organization 13 and rescued Namine. Namine was a witch who controlled the memories of others. Most likely these powers were achieved through a special process when she was born. Namine is a nobody created when a young girl's heart left her body, yet she has no corresponding Heartless. This is because the young girl in this case was a princess. Kairi, a resident of Radiant Garden over which I had ruled, was one of the 7 princesses that upheld the realm of light. With no darkness in her heart, Kairi produces no Heartless, and instead of vanishing, her body remained in the realm of light. In other words, both the nobody called Namine and the Heartless, proof of a long-lost heart, are extremely unstable beings who lack the bodies needed to produce a nobody. Therefore, they also lack Kairi's memories. One reason for this may be that Kairi's heart did not return to the darkness when separated from her body, but rather migrated into another vessel, deep within Sora's heart. That is, Namine is the alter ego of Kairi who had directly interfered with Sora's heart. Could this be why Sora and those hearts who were connected to him were able to have their memories controlled? She is a non-being in the truest sense of the word, having not even become a true nobody, and with nowhere left to go, she is the most fleeting of shadows. Yeah, so that explains a little bit more about what's up with Namine. Sora went to sleep in order to recover the memories he lost in Castle Oblivion. It would take quite some time to bring back all the memories he had created in his lifetime, but Organization 13 held sway over Castle Oblivion. Sora would need to be kept somewhere more secure. I persuaded Namine to move the slumbering Sora to Twilight Town for safekeeping. Namine. As I have written here before, she is the most unusual being, born of the same process as a nobody, but virtually lacking all of the elements of one. Perhaps she continuously draws in hopes that capturing that of which she lacks, the memory of others, especially Sora. I have arrived at a hypothesis. I believe that Namine was born as a special type of nobody when Sora attacked himself with the Keyblade, causing his and Kairi's hearts to leave their bodies simultaneously. Namine emerged as Kairi's nobody, but the body and soul necessary to exist as a nobody belonged to Sora. When a person's heart is stolen, a Heartless is born with no sense of self, and the body and soul left behind give rise to a nobody. But what if one willingly releases one's heart from one's body? Sora and Xehanort retained their selfhood even after becoming Heartless. Then there is Kairi and Namine. Kairi was exceptional for having no darkness within her heart. Also exceptional was that her heart, once freed, migrated to a new vessel, Sora. The combination of these two theoretically unlikely explanations may be behind this anomaly. There are matters I must attend to while Sora is sleeping, and a new ally has appeared on the scene, Riku. Yeah, so keep that in mind about Sora and Xehanort keeping themselves of their sense of self when they became Heartless. That might be important later down the road. We're almost done here. I was reunited with an old friend at Castle Oblivion, but I was unable to disclose my identity. If he knew the situation, he would likely try to stop me from carrying out my revenge. As much as I would dearly love to converse with him about the old days, this is now but a hopeless dream. My friend has been fighting in the realm of darkness. Most likely he found his way through here through Traverse Town. Oh, nice reference to Traverse Town. Like Castle Oblivion, that village also rests in the clefts between light and dark. It consists of the remnants of worlds whose heart have been stolen by the Heartless. It is where those who have barely escaped from the destruction of their worlds eventually find themselves. This realm between is quite unstable, with the corridors of darkness appearing from time to time. Whenever a world disappears, some of its inhabitants must arrive through these corridors. Surely Sora traveled these same corridors of darkness when he first came to Traverse Town. It would seem my friend fighting in the realm of darkness appeared in Castle Oblivion through a corridor of darkness constructed by Organization 13. My new ally Riku also effected his return via one of these corridors. He swore to me that he would give his all for his best friend Sora. In fact, Sora's memories have been slow to return. Thus I have asked Riku to bring me another Sora, his nobody. Sora is indispensable if I am to achieve my goal. I require the Keyblade-wielding hero to fly through the realm of light and defeat Organization 13. Yep, so he's probably realizing that he needs Roxas. Apart from Naminé, nobodies retain their memories and times as humans, but Sora's nobody Roxas has lost Sora's memories. This is likely because Sora's time as a Heartless was short, having recovered his heart and returning to human form soon after leaving behind Roxas, his nobody. It would seem like Roxas is much like Naminé. Naminé is Kairi's nobody, but came into being via Sora's body and soul. Likewise, Roxas is Sora's nobody, but was left behind because Sora's Heartless regained human form using Kairi's heart instead of his own. It may be that Sora's memories are slow to return because half of him that Roxas is still lacking. I must convert Roxas into data and return him to Sora. As a member of Organization 13, it was exceedingly difficult to bring Roxas in. Having lost to Roxas once, Riku laid everything on the line and used the power of darkness in their second battle, only just managing to bring Roxas back with him. But Organization 13 grows ever nearer. Here, Twilight Town is where Roxas was reborn as a nobody. This is where Roxas first encountered Organization 13 and joined its ranks. They are bound to search this place thoroughly. First, I shall convert all of Twilight Town into data and construct a world duplicate in Sora's memories. I shall place Roxas within that world to live out his days and regain those memories. There is little time. The organization's schemes must be making steady progress as well. And finally, the last report. Tomorrow, Sora awakens. My long drawn-out revenge is nearing its end. Xehanort, who took everything away from me. Though as a Heartless he is no more, as the leader of Organization 13, his ambition once again is to capture Kingdom Hearts, the most colossal heart of all. His Heartless had attempted to draw out the great darkness of Kingdom Hearts, created from the heart of all worlds. His nobody, however, is almost finished gathering human hearts to be assimilated into Kingdom Hearts as well. The fool. Only one mystery remains. How did Xehanort manage to open up the door that appeared in the basement of my castle? No. Any theory posited now, when everything is nearing completion, would be meaningless. Roxas, Ansem, Naminé. They all defy logic, yet there they are. Singular expectations to the rule. The theories proposed to me by Organization 13 have been blown to pieces by a handful of strong, heat-hearted individuals. Sora, Kairi, and Riku. Ah yes, Riku. Though his heart had its weaknesses, making him prone to the darkness, he found support in the hope that he discovered beyond suffering. This hope allowed him to stand his ground and turn the darkness into his heart from an enemy into his greatest weapon. When all this is over, it is my fervent hope that he will be able to return with Sora to his island. If I can, I should like to return to Radiant Garden, to look once more upon the beautiful water, the lovely flowers, and the hopeful smiles of the people. Dear King, my friend, I believe that at some point in time you will come across these, my truthful accounts. I wish I could have chatted with you again. I was a fool obsessed with revenge. Forgive me. Yep, so Ansem kind of had it rough, to be fairly honest. He lost everything. He was banished, lost everything that he had, was taken from his home, and basically devoted his entire life to revenge, only to realize in the end that he knew basically nothing, and sacrificed himself just to make amends to the people whose lives he had kind of gotten roped up into his schemes of revenge. So, kind of a sad story when you get right down to it, and it does explain a little bit more. Obviously, the stuff about the apprentices was never mentioned in the original Ansem reports, because again, they probably didn't think that far, so yeah, things are going to happen like that when you write out a big series like this and you're not planning it a lot from the start. So yeah, that will do it for this episode. On the next episode, I believe we are going to, let me see what level I am. We're going to drop by Olympus Coliseum, and we're going to do some tournament stuff, and I think I'm going to do the first 5, or I think it's 4, I can't really remember. I'm pretty sure it's 5 tournaments. We'll see how many. I'm going to do one set of them on camera and the other set to a musical montage all in the next episode so we can get through it real fast. And then after that episode, we're going to talk about the gummy ship missions, the synthesis shop, and the journal missions. And we're going to jump over to my 100% file. And after that, if I can remember off the top of my head, I think we're going to go fight one of the optional bosses after that. And then I think we're going to go fight the final boss. And we're going to save all of the other little bonus goodies that are unique here to Final Mix. We're going to save that for after we beat the final boss. Because I'd like to really get to the end of the game. Because there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in the ending. And the teaser for the post-credit scene is really, really cool. And I want to show you that, guys, as fast as possible rather than waiting to the last possible minute. So I am going to save the game. I'm going to go meet you guys in Olympus Coliseum on the next episode. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry that went on a little long, me yammering on with the Ansem reports, but it's very important you read them because it does give you a lot of backstory that the game only sort of hints at in most simplest terms. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next part.